Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I want to talk to you about what we can learn from the narcissist. Now, it can sometimes seem like all we can get from them is pain and suffering, but the truth is that we can learn a lot from them if we're able to see past our own hurt. From a spiritual point of view, it could be said that narcissists are sent to our lives to teach us and prepare us for what love really is. They do that by showing us what love isn't. If you think about it, how often are people looking for perfection in a partner? People often have a very, very strict set of characteristics or traits that they will accept in a partner, and they will not take anything less. After you've experienced a narcissist, you might have learned that what is truly important was not even on your list. You might realize that some of the things you found unacceptable in a partner before are actually not that big of a deal to you in the long run, as long as the person is caring, giving, supportive, and fair. You might realize that what you took for granted or turned your nose up at before is not something you can find in everybody. When you experience a relationship with a narcissist, you learn very quickly what is truly important in a relationship, because the relationship with a narcissist contains none of those things. This may be one of the most important lessons you can learn from them, and it should not be taken lightly. Another very important thing we can learn from the narcissist is that you can only control your own actions. If the narcissist has taught you anything, it's that. You cannot control other people's feelings, actions, behaviors, and more importantly, they cannot control yours. We are all responsible for our own actions and how we behave. How many times has the narcissist blamed you for how they feel or what they did? You know it's not true. This is an important lesson to learn because, as we see, the narcissist is the result of not being able to learn that. Where this gets tricky is, of course, when it's you, when abuse is involved. It's easy to say, my narcissist husband or wife did this to me and it made me feel bad or sad or angry or whatever, and it feels true. The truth is, though, other people don't have control over your feelings or the actions that result from those feelings. Only you do. Only you have control over that. For example, a physically abusive person who hits their spouse will often say, "You made me do it. You pissed me off. You provoked me." Is that true? Of course not. If it were true, that would happen every time people get mad at each other, and it doesn't. Adults control their feelings and their actions. In this same way, no one is responsible for your feelings except you. We choose how we react. In extreme situations, we might not be able to change how we feel, but we can choose what we do and how we exercise those feelings. This may be the most personally valuable lesson that you can learn from the narcissist, because you learn that, unlike the narcissist, who feels controlled by everybody, other people only have the power over you that you give them. You can choose not to react, to not get upset, and in doing so, you take the power back. Now, this sounds impossible to some people because your body does become conditioned over the years to react a certain way to stress, but try it. See what happens. You will be amazed at how much better you feel when you choose to just not react emotionally. Now, sometimes there are people who don't necessarily want to hear this, or those who say it might sound like victim blaming, so let me address that right now. If you choose to believe that other people are controlling your feelings, your actions, and therefore your life, that's up to you. But it's only true if you let it be true. You have to decide that it isn't true. If you choose to believe that you are helpless in the world and at the mercy of everyone else controlling everything about you, I have two words for you. You're not. But you have to believe that, and nothing is going to change until you do. It's a very attractive mindset, and that's why narcissists hold on to it so tightly. They want to be a victim. They want to believe that they're being controlled by other people because that's easier. It's easier to be a victim than to be a survivor. It's easier to blame than to take responsibility for your own part in a situation. Nothing can ever be your fault when you're the victim, and that is the mindset that narcissists cling to. Now, if you need incentive to change that mindset within yourself, look at the narcissist. That's how they feel. That is their mindset. They feel helpless and controlled by everything and everyone around them. They blame everything on everybody else, including how they feel. They have no control or power over anything. Do they seem happy to you? Do they seem well adjusted? No. Now, as for victim blaming, it's not victim blaming to teach a victim of abuse that they do have some control over the situation. That's not blaming, it's empowering. Yes, you can do something. Yes, you do have power here. You are not helpless. This is so important for people to understand because it's how you break the cycle. This helps pave the way for another lesson we can learn from the narcissist, and that is how to let things go and move on. Now, a lot of us know it's hard to end a relationship with a narcissist because there really is no end. There's no closure and there's no finality. The normal grieving process people usually go through when things end is not allowed to take place, either because the narcissist keeps adding more trauma, which in turn must be processed, which delays the grieving process, or because they refuse to understand that the relationship is over and they won't go away, or they simply disappear, conversely, leaving all these questions unanswered and lots of things up in the air. The relationship with the narcissist teaches us a very valuable lesson here, that sometimes there is no closure, and you know what? That's okay. We can control our own closure. We can learn to resolve things ourselves, to forgive, to let things go and move on, to do whatever we have to do to make things okay for us, regardless of the other person or people involved. This is a very, very important lesson for spiritual, emotional, and intellectual growth, and it's one the narcissist will never be able to master. Perhaps one of the biggest things that you have already learned from the narcissist is how to recognize a narcissist. Now, that's invaluable, right? I mean, it really is. Once you learn what narcissism is, what it looks like, how it feels, you are not going to forget. You will remember it and you will recognize it in other people when it's there. This reduces your chance of being a victim again. Part of the reason narcissists are so successful is because people don't know what they're looking at. They don't realize what they're dealing with. Now you do. This is information you could not have learned any other way, and you can use it to not only help yourself, but to help others who may not see what you can see. The most important lesson in all of this is pay it forward. Don't let your pain be in vain. Use the lessons you've been taught and help others if you can, because that's all anyone can do in this world. We have to look out for each other. Hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I take appointments online and over the phone Monday through Friday, so if you're interested in speaking with me, you can visit littleshaman.org and click the Book an Appointment tab to go ahead and do that. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful day.